Have you ever wondered why you think the way you do? Why some people can stay calm under pressure, while others can't sleep because of one unfinished task? Why some people talk to process their thoughts, and others need total silence to understand how they feel? Why some can forgive easily, while others replay the same memory 1,000 times? The answer might not be about personality. It might be about your brain. You see, there isn't just one way to think. There isn't just one kind of smart. And no, you're not broken. Your brain just works differently. And when you finally understand how it works, you stop comparing. You start accepting, and everything begins to make sense. Today, I want to take you on a quiet journey inside your mind to explore the 4 core brain types and help you figure out which one you are. And once you do, you'll never look at yourself or other people the same way again. Let's begin. Brain type 1, the linear thinker. I need structure. I need clarity. I need to understand the steps. You like order. You like systems. You like answers that make sense, not just emotionally, but logically. You're the kind of person who reads the instructions before starting, who plans before doing, who doesn't just feel things. You want to understand them. You think in lines, step by step, beginning, middle, end. And when the steps are clear, you thrive. But when things get messy, when there's chaos or sudden change, or someone expects you to just go with the flow, that's when your brain short-circuits a little. You're not inflexible, you just need time. Time to map it out, to connect the dots, to make sense of it all before you move forward. You're the type who writes lists just to feel grounded, struggles with people who are impulsive or vague, feels calm when everything is labeled, organized, and predictable, can spend hours perfecting a system just for the satisfaction of seeing it work. You love cause and effect. You love frameworks. You love being able to say, here's why this happened. But here's what most people don't understand about you. You're not boring. You're not robotic. You're not overly controlling. You just find safety and structure. And in a world that often feels chaotic, structure is your way of staying sane, where linear thinkers shine, planning complex projects, building systems that last, teaching, mentoring, explaining, creating step-by-step paths for others to follow, turning abstract chaos into simple clarity. You make sense of what others can't. You simplify the storm. You build bridges from what is to what could be. That's your gift. But here's the challenge. You can get stuck in analysis. You can overplan. You can freeze when the path ahead isn't clear. And sometimes you miss the magic that happens in the messy middle. Not everything in life has a blueprint. Not every emotion has a clean answer. Not every person thinks in straight lines. If this is your brain, you're not wrong for needing order. You're not broken for craving clarity. But remember, progress doesn't always come from logic. Sometimes it comes from stepping into the unknown, even if the map isn't finished yet. Next, brain type 2, the emotional processor. I don't think through problems, I feel through them. You don't just know things, you sense them. Before the facts arrive, before the words form, you already feel the truth inside you. You pick up on energy, on mood, on tone. You walk into a room, and without anyone saying a word, you know something's off. You notice the pause between words, the shift in someone's voice, the moment their eyes drop just slightly. You don't always have the evidence, but you know. And more often than not, you're right. You're the type who needs time to emotionally process before making decisions, feels deeply, even if you don't show it, can be overwhelmed by conflict or cold logic, carries emotional weight, not just your own, but others too. You're the heart of every group, the emotional barometer, the one people open up to without knowing why. Because with you, they feel seen. But here's what most people don't understand about you. You're not too sensitive.
You're not overthinking everything. You're not moody. You're emotionally intelligent. You feel in high definition. You experience the world through depth, not surface. And yes, that comes with intensity, but it also comes with wisdom, where emotional processors shine. Empathy-driven roles, therapy, coaching, healing, creative work that connects with the soul, navigating complex human dynamics, helping others feel safe, understood, and emotionally held. Your gift isn't just understanding emotion, it's honoring it, even when it's messy, even when it's inconvenient. You give people the permission to feel. But here's the challenge. You can absorb too much. You can lose your own voice trying to care for everyone else. You can carry emotions that don't belong to you. And when you're overwhelmed, you withdraw. Not to be dramatic, but because your nervous system needs space to breathe. If this is your brain, you're not broken for feeling too much. You're not weak for crying. You're not overreacting just because someone else wouldn't feel the same way. Your depth is not a flaw. It's your compass. Just make sure you're not always using it to guide others and forgetting to come home to yourself. Brain type 3, the creative intuitive. I don't think in steps. I think in sparks. Your brain is not a list. It's a light show. It doesn't move in straight lines. It leaps. You get ideas in the shower. You solve problems mid-sentence. You jump from topic to topic, not because you're distracted, but because your brain is 10 steps ahead. You connect things no one else sees. You see patterns in chaos. You thrive in open space. You're the one who says, "Wait, what if we did it this way instead?" And suddenly, the whole room sees the bigger picture. You're the type who has bursts of intense creativity, followed by quiet retreats, feels inspired one moment, then overwhelmed the next, gets bored by repetition and constraint, can forget where you left your phone, but remember a stranger's story from 10 years ago. You need freedom. You need flow. You need space to wander and wonder and imagine. You live in the what if. You don't wait for permission. You follow sparks. And that's what makes you magical. But here's what most people don't understand about you. You're not flaky. You're not chaotic. You're not bad at focusing. You're wired differently. You think in loops, not lines. In feelings, not formulas. In bursts, not blueprints. You don't need fixing. You need room to fly. Where creative intuitives shine. Innovation and big picture strategy. Art, design, writing, filmmaking. Solving abstract problems. Inspiring people through imagination and insight. You're the mind that dreams what others are afraid to say out loud. You're the voice that challenges old systems. You're the spark that starts the fire. That's your gift. But here's the challenge. You can start 1,000 things and finish none. You can drown in your own ideas. You can chase so many sparks, you forget which one lit the path. Sometimes you need structure. Even if it feels uncomfortable, you need grounding. Not to cage you, but to anchor you. If this is your brain, you're not lazy, you're not unreliable, you're not unfocused. You are untamed. You are brilliant. You are overflowing. All you need is to stop apologizing for your rhythm and start honoring your fire. Brain type 4, the reactive adapter. I don't plan ahead. I respond in the moment. You don't like overthinking. You like doing. You trust your gut. You figure it out as you go. You're the person people call in a crisis, the one who's calm when others panic. Not because you have a plan, but because your brain adapts fast. You think on your feet. You feel most alive in motion. You're good in chaos because chaos is your zone. You're the type who needs flexibility, not structure. Gets frustrated with rigid rules or micromanagement. Feels bored by routine. Can hyper-focus under pressure, but procrastinate when things feel too easy. You don't want to rehearse every line. You want to show up and respond. You want freedom to pivot, to choose, to change your mind. But here's what most people don't understand about you. You're not disorganized. You're not careless. You're not inconsistent. You are responsive. You thrive in uncertainty. You learn by doing, not just by planning. You're the kind of person who can step into chaos and find the thread no one else saw. And that's your gift. But here's the challenge. You often wait until the last minute. You ignore red flags because you trust things will work out. You resist structure, even when it could help you grow. And sometimes you burn out because you're always in motion, always reacting, rarely resting. If this is your brain, you're not wrong for needing spontaneity. You're not behind just because you don't follow a calendar. But know this, you still deserve stability. You still need rest. You still have the right to slow down, even if the world around you is moving fast. So, which brain type are you? Maybe you're one. Maybe you're a mix. Maybe you're the emotional creative, the one who feels deeply and expresses through art. Maybe you're the linear adapter, the one who loves planning but can shift on the fly. You don't have to fit into just one box. This isn't a label. It's a language, a way to understand yourself better, a way to stop comparing, to stop judging, to start accepting. Because the truth is, there's no right brain, no wrong brain, only your brain, your rhythm, your way of being. And here's why this changes everything. When you know how your brain works, you stop trying to fix yourself. You stop chasing someone else's pace. You stop apologizing for how you move through the world. You stop saying things like, "Why can't I focus like them? Why do I always overthink everything? Why am I always so inconsistent?" Because now you know. You see the pattern. You hear the rhythm. You realize your brain was never the problem. The problem was not knowing how to work with it.